Hello everybody, Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates here, coming back at you with just another regular Flosstube. I think we're finally getting back into the flow of things. It is Tuesday, July 9th at 10 a.m. It is 83 degrees and mostly cloudy, although it looks sunny to me. I actually have the blind down, so I hope that the light is okay for this. It was rainy yesterday. There was the remnants of a tropical depression, Barbara, that came through. I think it's still in the process of coming through, but it doesn't look mostly cloudy out there to me. But what do I know? I think I'm getting pretty much back to normal. Jet lag is pretty much over. So that's a good thing. Yesterday I had my appointment with the shoulder and elbow doctor to talk about my calcium deposit. Turns out the calcium deposit isn't a thing that usually causes problems. What causes problems is when you stop using your elbow and or your shoulder and it tightens up, and that is called capsulitis. So you may have heard of frozen shoulder. I'm kind of on the pathway to frozen shoulder. The doctor said, you know, if it goes from here to here, this is normal, this is frozen shoulder. I'm over here. So I got in early. He gave me exercises. I should be hearing from a physical therapist to make sure that I'm doing the exercises correctly. Had my MRI last week, which was a very strange experience, but I hope to hear pretty darn soon, like in the next day or two, from somebody to get started on whatever's wrong with my back. So that's about all that's going on here. The pictures that you saw at the beginning of the video were, let's see, went up to Haleiwa for dinner Friday evening and walked down the beach for the sunset, so you saw some sunset pictures. We saw some turtles on the beach after dark. They come into the beach, and got a video of one of them, but it's so dark I don't know whether it's even worth posting. We also did the walk out to Kaena Point Sunday morning. That's a 2.5 mile out, 2.5 mile back walk along the shoreline, the northern shoreline. Kaena Point is the most northwestern part of Oahu. It is a nesting place for albatross, and we did see at least 2 or 3 adult pairs and a couple babies. There might have been more babies. We saw one up close, and I did put a picture in. I zoomed in on the picture, and it's a little fuzzy, but apparently the albatross leave like around July to head out to ocean, so we were lucky to see them. The baby albatross still had his fuzzy ears, his little fuzzy pieces along the sides of his head. So yeah, it was really cool, and just of course a gorgeous point. So I did do some video and pictures, a ton. So I wanted to mention to you guys, you know, a lot of you have been around here long enough to know that I did start a separate travel channel called Sunsets and Sangria right about the time we started out here on the house hunting trip. And I haven't really done much with it because life. But what I'm gonna try and do, I take so many pictures and videos anytime we go out. And you do see, like, I try and show you guys the best of them, but there are just a ton more. So what I'm gonna try and do is kind of start a new segment on that Sunsets and Sangria channel called Today on Oahu. And basically anytime we go out, it's just gonna be a slideshow. It's not gonna really have any narration. I may do slides that just say what day it is and where it is and anything of note. But for the most part, it's just going to be a slideshow of whatever videos and photos I've taken. At this point, I have the first one ready to go, except music. I want to find some like nice Hawaiian music, Hawaiian style music to play during the slideshow, and I'm having a hard time finding something that I think portrays the mood of what I feel when I'm out there marveling at the wonders of this place. So anyways, be looking for that. I know a lot of you have subscribed over there, but if you're interested in seeing more of my photos, that will be the place to see more. Let's see. So like I said, oh, there's a couple public service announcements. Almost at 5,000 subscribers. I think I'm about 40 short. If you have friends that you think will like my channel, please invite them over. I'm hoping by next Tuesday I will have enough to start the giveaway. I'm going to show you the complete giveaways today. There are a ton of them, more than what I've showed you before, just because things keep coming in. And I want to give back to you guys. So if you have friends that you think might like my channel, please ask them to come over, check me out, subscribe if they like what they see. You do have to be a subscriber, and I will be searching the subscriber list to make sure you're a subscriber before I announce you as one of the winners. Public service announcement. For my other Flosstube creators or YouTube creators in general, I got an email yesterday. The sender was called YouTube or YT support, for YouTube support. And the email went something along the lines of, your channel has been reported to have a lot of spam videos on it. We will be reviewing your channel. In the meantime, please provide this information below for us. And otherwise, if you don't get this back to us within a week, we will be shutting down your channel. So of course I immediately panicked, but I noticed that the things that they want are the YouTube channel name and a couple other information and the channel password. Channel password is the Google password because Google owns YouTube. So right, immediately red flags go up, and I started to do searches, and this is a scam. That it is a phishing email looking for your information to get into your Google account. If you are a YouTube creator, do not provide them any information. It is a scam. Again, a lot of us don't know. We panic. The thought of closing down my channel I just panicked. But luckily Mike's like, whoa, you better search this first before you do anything. And luckily there are some videos on YouTube of other people saying it is a scam. Anytime anybody is asking for your password, you can pretty much guarantee it's a phishing email. Ignore it, pitch it, report it if there's a place to report it. So that's that. I think it is on. It's time to start talking stitching. So, like I said, I have a ton of stuff. I'm going to show you what I've been working on since I got home. I'm going to show you a little bit of haul, and then we will go on to the giveaways. So, first and foremost, patchwork. Now, I told you last week, or I guess in my Stitch With Me video, I explained my plan for this and the rainbow plan for this. So I got quite a bit done. You can see I'm still in the red family. I kind of did bits and pieces of several of the motifs using the reds that I have, just to get a feel for what they look like. This one in particular, as I was stitching it, I was sure it was the same red that's in the first one, Damasco, which is one of Mrs. Sadis's, and this is Mrs. Sadis's silk floss. This first one is one of her variegated ones called Damasco. And I was sure this was the same red, but looking at it now on camera, it is just I think slightly darker. Can you see that? It is very much still a tomato red. But yeah, there's more of this motif I need to get done. So then I started this one that goes down, and then this one that comes over to get a feel for what all the different reds were gonna look like. And I love it. Now I had mentioned, I didn't pull the pattern up this time. So if you wanna see that and you haven't watched my Stitch With Me video, at the very beginning I show the complete pattern. So if you wanna see that, go check that out. I did get wonderful responses from everybody about what the AN in here meant and the NO over here. It is anno for year. So basically, and then down here further in the pattern, it is the year that you've stitched it. So basically, it's Latin. So, anno, year. So I will put those in here. I'm going to wait, I think, until the end to put all the letters and the dates in, because I want those all to be in the same color, but I'm not sure at this point what color I want to use. So that is that one. I showed you on my StitchCon review video that I did get this one, and I had the brilliant idea to make this for Mike's birthday. Mike's birthday is July 17th. The man will not stay at work. I'm having a heck of a time finding time to stitch this when he isn't here. I did get, let's see, I did get a little bit of the border started. So this is as far up as it goes on this side where the flowers start, and I got the bottom and I got halfway up here. He was home, of course, all weekend. He took half the day off on Friday because it was the day after 4th of July. He went in late today, and he's saying he's only going to stay 2 to 4 hours today because he's really tired. I think jet lag, I'm not sure whether jet lag is still hitting him. The cat has been a brat early in the morning, so he's just not getting a full night's sleep. But he won't stay away so I can stitch this. It'll get done or it won't get done. I don't know. We shall see. It'll at least be a good chunk of it done. I don't know. I also, so my hour a day stitching project is this one, Lila Studios Season Summer. You may remember I was working on this before I had to do the small for StitchCon. I've picked it back up again. This is on 40 count. It's a Picture This Plus. I don't think it's Legacy. I don't know whether I'm using the called for or not. Heritage, I think I am. This is a 40 count. I think it is Heritage. Loving how this is turning out. I'm using, I think for the most part, the called for. There might be a couple different ones that, no, I think I'm using the called for. What a concept. So I just have the branch up here in the middle to do, and some of the strawberries to put in, and then the bottom border to do. I'm hoping to get this done by the end of the weekend at the very latest. And then I will be moving on to my hour a day one, will be the mushrooms one for my son. So because I'm getting back into the swing of things, I'm trying to get back to my my rotation of my big projects. And so the first one I pulled out is Grace. The Grace Quaker Sampler by Sampler Cove. You may remember that this was a stitch along that several of us were doing on Instagram. Tamara Bowen, Miss Nana Stitches, Andy Valou, Nana's Needles, Lynette Peters. She is One Lap One on Instagram and is a fantastic stitcher, and I really wish you would get a YouTube channel going, Lynette. So I had promised myself when I picked this back up again that I was going to start getting the 1/1 letters done on this. So I have a bunch of letters to get done down here on the bottom. Is that the bottom? Over here. I have these letters to get done. So, yesterday I got the 6 done, part of the 9 done, the T done. I have R and W to do in here. And I think that's all the bottom will be done. I also started this next motif when my eyes got tired of doing 1/1 on 40 count. So that is this motif here. And for this one, you know, one of the things, before I start any motif, I am using 4 colors and then a 5th one, the darkest gray, for the letters and numbers. So anytime before I start a new motif, I have to look at my piece and decide what color combination I'm going to use. And so looking at this next one, I looked at the bottom. I have the big dark gray and white piece there. I have a lot of the darker gray with the white and red down below. And this is one of Victorian Motto, one of her gray sets. And I don't have those pulled out. I don't know that I have a conversion of this on my website. I need to do that. But anyways, this is more of a softer mottled gray that you can see in this one here and this one up here. So I decided it was time to use that again. So I'm using that for the outline of this piece. And then I'll have a combination of the white, where is it? The white and the gray for the inside part of the motif. I'm probably gonna have these diamonds be the darker gray and then go back, or maybe just these little pieces be the darker gray, because I don't want as much of the dark gray in this piece since I have it predominantly on these pieces down here. So and this is all about balancing, having a balance of all the different colors throughout. I'm also not going to be using any red in any of these other ones because I do have a lot of red down here as well. And I really want the red just to be touches. Like, I will use the red here on these hearts, right? Because those need to be red. And I may use the red in the flowers. I don't know. I have to decide if I want that much. But that is where I am on this. In the past, I have been doing usually 2 or 3 stitches on each one in my rotation before moving on to the next piece. I do have, well, a couple things. First, I want to say about this piece. So a little story, a little StitchCon story. The table behind me, I think actually one of the other ladies at the table noticed first. She said, Jan, she's working on Grace. So the gal sitting right behind me and the table next to us was working on Grace. And it was a beautiful, she was using a beautiful burgundy, it's a monochromatic for the stitching. So of course I turned around and oohed and awed and oohed and awed. Her name was Jamie Rowe. Jamie is also the person that chose the pineapple that I made for the small. So sitting behind me, working on Grace, got my pineapple. It's just serendipity. So anyways, that is Grace. So I was going to say, as you guys know, I have a lot of whips. And when you have this many whips, you want to work on them all. I can't tell you how many are calling to me. Patchwork, Shades of Gold, Quaker Seasons of Friendship, Grace, the Mandala 8. Oh my God, that is calling to me. So many. But there's so many hours in the day, right? So, I have a very good friend, Anne. Hi, Anne. Oh, and I meant to say hi, Jamie. Hi, Anne. I'm giving you a shout out. We had a discussion. Anne and I were partners in crime way back when we both worked in the same office. Mike and Anne and I all worked together. And there was a cross-stitch store not too far from work that every once in a while we would go out at lunchtime and go shopping. It was a dangerous time. But anyways, through my Flosstube channels, Anne is back into stitching, and she is now addicted to a bunch of the Flosstube creators, which I think is awesome. But we were talking the other day, and she said, you know, Jan, I think you should have, for the last 6 months of the year, a no new starts challenge. And she reminded me that Michelle Bendy Stitchy, had the first 6 months of the year, she had no new starts. Now, she was planning the whole year. She made it to July. Anne has challenged me. And she gave several different renditions, but she's like, you know, just pick up where Michelle left off and you go the rest of the year, or give yourself a reward when you have a page finish. I'm gonna try and do no new starts. I heard all of you laughing. I heard that. You don't think I can do it, which challenges me even more. What I'd really, really like to do is get done some of these that are relatively closer to being done, like Grace. Grace I can get done by the end of the year if I put more time into it. There's several others like that. Some of them are the smaller ones, Pretty Little India, the mushrooms one. What I've done is I've made a list of those that I think I can, if I concentrate on them, I can get them done by the end of the year, because I've told you, Farewell to Anger, me and Carolyn Zook, and whoever else wants to join in. Claire, Beautiful Clarity, are you going to join us? Beginning of the new year, 2020, we're going to be starting Farewell to Anger. That will be my first HAID. It won't be my first full coverage project, but it'll be my first really big full coverage project. So I would really like to get some of these off of my list before I do that. So you guys, you need to encourage me. Don't be laughing at me. All right, you can laugh at me. I laugh at me. We like to laugh. But encourage me, okay? Counting on you guys. All right, so I think one other thing I wanted to show you, my progress on my sweater. So I'd shown this, I think, when we were still in Flagstaff. Is that when I showed it? So this is the Palmer tee. Kitty B Knitting is the designer, my friend from Sarasota. So I have the one side done, and I have a good chunk of the other side panel done. Once these are done, I will be seaming up the side, and then I think it's just picking up stitches around the neckline, giving it a good blocking, and it'll be done. This yarn is, I'm gonna stand up a little bit here so you can kind of see it better. Isn't that a pretty pattern? Kat does such gorgeous, unusual, trendy, I love it. So this is all stockinette on the side, and then she has this wonderful lace motif going up the center with the leaves. The yarn is actually a cotton llama blend. I believe Queensland is I was looking to see if I still have a tag in here, is the company. No, I don't think I still have a yarn tag. So anyways, this again, I'm working on in the evenings when my eyes are getting tired, trying to get at least an hour in on this every day as well, so I can get that done. I don't have too many more rows to finish up that side, so hopefully by next week I will have a finish on that as well. For those of you that are knitters, how many of you are doing Casapinka's Knit Along, the Perfect Blend mystery knit? I was so tempted to start that. I love Casapinka's designs. I've done several of them as samples for the store down in Sarasota for models, several other ones for myself. I certainly have enough yarn here that I could create my own blend, but I decided I need to get some of my whips done. I'm not saying I'm going to have a no new start on knitting for the rest of the year, but I do have enough whips that I shouldn't start anything new. I know, you're laughing at me again. I know. All right, let's see, what else? I have my notes over here in case you didn't realize that. Okay. Haul, a little bit of gifts, and then we're going to talk giveaways. So the first gift I want to show you. This is from the darling Rose Heck. So she stitched the Give Love Get Love hashtag. This is from Donna Bayless on By the Bay Needle Arts. I will have a link. This is a free chart. I will have a link to this below. She put my initials on it. gorgeous, gorgeous sea turtle fabric and kind of a watery batik here with a lighter blue. I mean, does the girl know me or does she know me? She put a little, we have a sea turtle charm, get back here, with a little tag to write the project. This is what, no, I did not wait until this video to use it. This is what Patchwork is living in. Rose again. I love it. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Things all around. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So, I didn't get a whole lot of haul, but I think I mentioned on my StitchCon video that there was one of the smalls that was given by somebody, was stitched and given by somebody, were the little flip-flops, and how everybody thought they were mine. I saw those, and of course I had to get them because they should have been mine, right? Barefoot Days, Lila Studios. Look at those. I mean, can you even? I can't. Now, the thing that was even like over the top, oh my God, for me was, so this is stitched on 40 count, is the called for. I don't know for sure what was used for the small, but it was over 1. And I would say it was probably at least 28 count, if not smaller. So the finished flip-flops, like the finished size on these are, if you use 40 count, 2 1/4 inches wide by 5 1/2 inches high. The finished size of the ones for the small were like 2 1/2, maybe 3. I don't know if they were 3 inches high. Just adorable. So I probably will do them over 1. And then I actually haven't, she does have the instructions on how to finish it. I haven't opened this up. I assume there's probably the, you know, to trace around and cut out on the foam core, the template. That's the word I'm looking for. So, in addition, as a thank you for doing some of her patterns, showing them on my Flosstube, she did send me some gifts. She sent me a wonderful postcard with a sweet note with "Let Freedom Ring" on it, which someday I'll do that one. She sent me this one. Now this is a new one. The Bee Comes. This is a new one for this year. And then she sent me another one, which is going to be one of my giveaways. So I'll show you that in a second. The other thing I got, and I think I actually ordered this when I was in Flagstaff. I had seen this woman's fabric on Instagram and was just floored. It's a marbling technique. I don't know how she does it. I don't know whether it's printed. It's only on one side of the fabric, so I assume it's printed in some way. But it's soft. This is a 28 count even weave. And then there's this, which is a 32 count. Now, her name is Mommy Loves Ugb on Instagram. That's also her Etsy name. I will be putting that information in the description box below. I got in touch with her and I said, Michelle, her name's Michelle, I'm having a 5,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm having a fabric package. I would love to include one of your pieces of fabric in that fabric package. So we came up with a custom colorway. I told her I'm in Hawaii. I want it to be tropical. I'm thinking turquoises, duh, with some pinks and some yellows. You do your magic. And she did. I got 2 pieces, one for me and one for you. This is my piece. It's so hard to show you the gorgeousness of this fabric. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Something that will show off how amazing this is. This other piece, I happen to be her 100th sale, and she just happened to be giving away a 5-pound coupon to her 100th sale. 5 pounds equals $6 in US dollars. This piece cost $6, so I got this with my coupon. Again, look how gorgeous this is. Again, I don't know what I will do with it. Your piece, if you win the fabric package, has more pinks and yellows in it, and I will be showing you that in a second. In addition to those wonderful fabrics that I got, she also makes project bags, and she sent me this gorgeous one. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful, Michelle. Thank you so much. So she has a little tassel on her zipper pull. I've put my little tag on that says what is in here. You can see in this particular bag, I am storing my pretty littles because the colors, all the colors inside, there's fabric, which is hiding the red polka dot, white polka dot on red ground. I don't know. Michelle, it's gorgeous. Thank you so much. I hope people flock to you because your stuff is pretty and gorgeous and amazing. She has a tag with her Etsy shop name. Now the one thing, you know, both this one and the bag I got from Rose, the one thing I absolutely adore is that they don't have vinyl on them, because you know, we've been talking about this. And I actually, so okay, I've shown you the muslin bags from Dying to Stitch, and I've told you you can get them when you call them, and they're going to actually have their logos screen printed. So I have ordered 10, and I have them all loaded with projects. And so what I'm doing is, right now, this is the one that Grace is in. Right now, it is just rolled up in there because it's the one I'm currently working on. Once I'm ready to put it back away, I'm going to spread it out flat. It's still bigger, the fabric is still bigger than the bag, but it will be mostly flat. It'll just kind of be the edges that are folded over. So I have the fabric in here. I have one of these for my pattern and the floss. So what I'm doing is when I go to store them, and most of my projects are like this. Now I still have some rolled up in that King pillow sham that I showed you a few videos ago. The ones that are bigger, that really are too big for these bags, are staying in the pillow sham. But what I'm doing then is storing these in my cabinet flat. So I have the bag with the fabric in it, and then I have the bag with the design or the pattern and the floss in it. And then I have my tag that tells me what's in that. So they're still kept together, but I don't have the plastic up against the fabric anymore. Now I still have my floss in their plastic bags. I don't know that I'm gonna change that anytime soon. My bags, the Tux bags, do have holes in them so that they can breathe. I do tend to leave my zippers unzipped a little bit. I don't know whether that works or not, basically. But anyways, I wanted to share that with you so that, kind of like to follow up and finish that whole how I'm storing my stuff. So when I went downtown, I was in downtown Honolulu yesterday for my appointment with the shoulder doctor. There was a Goodwill that I hadn't been to, about a half mile away. So I walked down there and I got some frames. You know, there were so many really nice frames, but since I walked, didn't want to carry too much. Just a couple little canvases. Just tiny little things that I can finish with something small. I need to do some smalls, don't I? I will. This one I thought was a great beachy themed one. It has a watercolor in it at this point, which I may just go ahead and hang in the meantime. But this is going to be great for all. I have so many beach themed designs to stitch, right? But look, isn't that great, the whitewashed frame? Love that. And then I found this. You know, the main reason I went was to find a frame for this piece I'm doing for Mike. So I found this, and this is a little bit raised. So what I think I'm gonna do, the piece is, I think, a little bit, it's taller. I hope this works. It's taller. I don't know if it's as wide actually, but I'll either take this off or mount the piece on a piece of mat board and put it over top of it. But it's just kind of a simple, it has kind of a burlappy fabric in the back. It's not the cleanest frame, but that's okay. For $2.99, I think it'll work. All right, onward. So I think that is all for the just general stuff. I'm gonna go get my pile of giveaways and we're gonna start going through them. All the giveaways, because I have so many generous subscribers, just people in general that are willing to give and give and give, and I want to give back. So this is kind of like an accumulation of several months of things, because I haven't done a giveaway in several months, but I was also saving them for this. So like I said, I have more here than what I had originally showed you. First, we have a package of things from Fat Quarter Shop. We have these little cards, stitch cards. So this package includes these 4 designs. You're also going to get some of the Fat Quarter Shop vintage cloth. This is a 10 count even weave. My pile's slipping. And also one of these cross stitch journals. The Fat Quarter Shop sent me 2 of these. As most of you know, I do all of my keeping track of everything in the X-Stitch app. So I have 2 of those to give away. I mentioned Lila sent me, you know, in addition to sending me the Barefoot Days and this pattern, she also sent me this one. This is another one of her 2019 releases, SL 1862 small sampler. So I will be giving that away together with the Dorothy Allen sampler from Crown and Thistle R&R Reproductions. So these 2 are going to be in one giveaway. Next we have So she did. So I did show you this one last week, but I did not show you everything. So I had showed you, I got at StitchCon the fabric. This is a 28 count even weave, and these flosses to do with the sewing machine with. I am adding to that this red Victorian motto. Now granted, this Victorian motto is actually the Poisoned Apple colorway from the 'Tis the Season set that she made. That red is a little bit, like this red on here is definitely more of a tomato red, and this red is more of a darker rosy red, I guess. So you can use it or not for this. And then this is the other cross stitch journal. So all of that is one package. Then we have the 2 sets of Mrs. Sadis floss. These are each separate packages. And actually, I was going to, I haven't yet. This is the variegated set. I started to say I was going to mix these up so that each package has some of the variegated, and some of the solid. So these will be mixed together. Each one of them will still have 12 skeins of Mrs. Sadie's floss. So here's the solids, here's the variegateds. It will be a mixture of both in each package. Like I said, these are 2 separate packages. Each of her skeins are 11 yards. So you're getting a nice chunk of each one of the colors. 6 by 11 yards. Next we have missing one. So I have the new colorway from Mrs. Sadie's. This is the Sienna colorway. And I mentioned that I was going to try and pick out a fabric from Under the Seas or Color and Cotton at StitchCon. That didn't happen. To be totally honest with you, I forgot. I think I didn't have it written down. I don't know, I forgot. But I have a lot of fabric. So I've picked out 2. I couldn't decide whether this kind of more tanny, browny, I mean, I think that looks awesome with that floss. But then I also like the floss with just this kind of cream. I mean, it just really stands out. So whoever wins this package, and let's see, this is a 32 count. I believe this is 32 count as well. I do not have a tag on this, so I'm not sure what it is. Whoever wins this package will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skeins of Mrs. Sadie's floss, colorway Sienna. Again, there's 11 yards in each of these skeins, and both of these pieces of fabric. And then last, but certainly not least, is the fabric package. Most of this, I've just gone through my stash and pulled out some things for you. A variety of counts, but then the last one is the wowie one. So we have Ada. This is the one of the pieces that Christina gave to me. This is from Fabric Flare. It is a printed, and I believe it is a 14 count Ada. So Halloween. We have a piece of the, I believe this is the Country Mocha. If you remember the package that I got from Patricia, oh, the name isn't coming to me. The box of fabric that I got not too long ago had several pieces of this same colorway. This is one of those. This is a 32 count. A nice big, again, a nice big neutral, and most of these are neutrals. This is a nice big neutral, big piece. If you have a sampler you've been wanting to do, I do not see this. I think this is a 28 count. It's hard to see. I don't have it written on it. This is also just a cream 28 count. Very, very nice. I mean, it's a little bit big of a weave. Some people like that, some people don't, but this is another nice big piece, just a plain cream linen. And then last but not least, Mommy Loves Ugb, marbled fabric, Hawaiian tropical colorway, created just for this giveaway. Again, you could just hang this on the wall. Look at the yellows and the pinks in this one. Just so pretty. And these are the kind of fabrics that are great for like just a monochromatic, like a strong, do an ink circle, you know, something like that, something fun. So that is the fabric package. Not bad, huh? Like I said, if you know anybody that you think would like my channel, send them on over. You have to be a subscriber for this one. I'm gonna search. I'm gonna make sure before I give away to just anybody. But again, it's not happening yet. I'm not quite there. So let's get me over the top. Hopefully this time next week I will have 5,000 subscribers and the party can begin. I'm looking forward to it. Lots of goodies. I think that is all. Yep, talked about my plans. Cheer me on, no new starts. You can start calling me No New Starts Jan. You think it's gonna happen? Help me. All right, guys, you know I love you. You know, I think the world of my subscribers, and that's why I want to give back to you. You make my day every time you comment. I'm so glad you're enjoying the interviews I'm doing with the ladies. I have 3 more of those to put up. Still haven't edited my pineapple, my pineapple videos, but that'll get done. In the meantime, give love, get love. You're giving it to me, I'm giving it back. I hope you are spreading it out there in the world, because Lord knows that's what we need right now. I love you. I'll be back for a Stitch with Me on Friday. Until then, have a fantastic week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.